What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Darian, aka Snipe Huncho, aka Sniper Huncho, aka Market Killer. And on a serious note, I'm going to walk you through the trade that I took today. And if you may or may not know, I've been trading futures. I made the full switch of futures. And even though I was told about 2 years ago to switch to futures, I do trade futures. Okay, 2026 we finally did it. We're trading futures, NQ and ES. Um, we got a couple of challenges going with the prop firm, My Funded Futures. We got three of them going 350Ks, and I got them to the trade sinker and everything. And yes, we're doing this thing. So, with that being said, I'm going to walk you through the trade that I took, the very first trade that I took on this account, copy trading futures on micro NASDAQ. So, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start on the 1 hour time frame because we're building a narrative from higher time frames, and higher time frames for me are 15 minute to 1 hour. Okay, so right now we're on the 1 hour time frame. We want to see what we can get, and the first thing that pops out to me is this bullish order block. Okay, we have a fair value gap here, also with a devil's mark. That's another entire situation. But what caught my eye here was this 1 hour order block. Okay, now a lot of people do not really understand what an order block is. They just think it's an area of consolidation or like a move down and a move up, which essentially they're right, but they don't have the full entire story. So an order block for me is a black candle wedged between two white candles, or a white candle wedged between two black candles. As you can see, we have three instances here of that actually happening, but the only instance that I'm referring to is this one. And the only reason that I'm doing this one is because that the third candle actually closed above the high of the black candle. You see what I'm saying? These didn't. Okay, this third candle closed below the high. Okay, and the second candle right here, this third candle didn't close above the high, but this third black candle that was put in this area of consolidation, this third candle actually closed above the high. So once we broke above these highs and we started pulling back into this order block, if this order block is going to hold, I know that 9 times out of 10, price will reject that order block, even if it doesn't go to the moon, even if it doesn't skyrocket. I understand that once price pulls down into this area, and we're glitching currently, so I'm going to chill out on the moving. Once price closes above this area and price pulls back into this area, I'm going to expect an initial movement off of this area. Okay. We're going to pause and take a remission real quick. Okay, I hope that it stopped glitching now. Now that we have our narrative, we're going to drop down to the 5-minute time frame. And as you can see, that literally we've been building liquidity coming down to this upside, right? Coming down from this upside. Now, if we look to the left, coming out of New York session yesterday, we literally were in consolidation. So once Asia started, we literally swept Asia highs, swept Asia lows, and then we pushed the highs. Now, I'm thinking that this is a classic buy day, right? We put in our true low of day right here. We already have an order block that we can literally build a narrative around and stay bullish. So once we pulled into that level, we dropped down to that 5-minute time frame, and now we want to find an entry. Now we're just looking for a bullish inversion, right? So the only thing I could actually find was on the next highest time frame, which is on the 4-minute. And we have this bullish inversion that happened here. So we executed about 2 candles later, which price really wasn't even that far away. We executed here because we already dug into that 1 hour order block. We put our stops below here, and then we targeted the high. Actually put our stops at the low of this range. We targeted the high of the range, so we targeted liquidity, okay? Now, the reason that we targeted liquidity, guys, was because, or internal liquidity, was because that we didn't take any external liquidity, right? We pulled into this 1 hour order block, but it wasn't really no true structure. Like, yeah, we had these lows here, but these were like really current lows. So I can't count that as like external liquidity. That wasn't a low. All right, we're back. We had to fix some stuff with OBS. Hopefully it acts right. But anyways, now we have our higher time frame narrative. We're looking to the upside. We dug into that 1 hour order block. Okay, and then we have our 4 hour bullish inversion of this fair value gap. My old 3-bar reversal right there. But anyways, we took longs there, and then we targeted this internal liquidity because we did not take any external liquidity out. In fact, we generated external liquidity once the end of this London session happened, right? So that's later. Anyways, we took our buys, and as you can see, it played out in our favor. But one interesting thing happens during this trade, and that's when we get filled. Right when we get filled, we turn the other way, right? And then we take out this area right here, which was basically our stop loss, which was also the low of London. Okay, now when that happened, what happened? We chilled out for a second there. Market opens, then we pop to the upside. That is why I did not target the high of this trend, right, of this counter trend. I didn't target the high. I easily could have said, hey, you know what? Okay, we're going to target the high. That's what I was taught coming in, right? And I was unprofitable coming in. So now what I did was just target the high of London session, right? It's a major high, and it's built in to this range right here, right? And it's not even the extreme of this range. So it's like a really safe target, okay? And then you could have built a narrative around this level getting taken out because on a whole nother side note, when this low got put in, right, that became external liquidity. So once we took that out, we could have dropped down. We don't have any bullish triggers on here, but I did check because I was literally watching it play out as it happened. But we have this 1 minute inversion that I can show you guys real quick. We have this 1 minute inversion. So this would have been our trade, right? Stops would have been below the inversion. Then we could have targeted a 5 or 15 minute, which I believe this was the only thing to target, which is this 5 minute. We could have also went back for these highs here, but I mean, guys, like the strategy is so good because we're not going for long targets, so I don't really care about long targets. To get a 3.8 R on a trade like this, magic. And it happens to be within our parameters. If our parameters come before we hit external liquidity or can generate like a massive move, if we see a 5 minute, we're going to go for that 5 minute. And this is just a really crazy 5 minute. And then it popped to the upside right as market opened. So this trade literally only lasted for like 5 minutes. So I did not take this trade because my rule is once I win, then I'm done. So I've been trading London session recently, and was my London move right there. But this would have been a really, really clean New York buy for it to end in a classic buy day. And here we are now. And it literally just exploded. But pause. Pause, brother. Okay, guys, so this was the trade right here. Generated 1.5K, which was basically just half of what I need to actually get these accounts. So, I mean, if we literally just do the math across 4 accounts, across 3 accounts, that'll be 4,500 on the day. So, yeah, literally all the accounts are about halfway through what they need to actually secure that funding. Everything transparent, and that's just what it is. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to catch you on the flip side. I'll catch you at the top because the bottom been way too crowded. Peace.